Okay, yeah, I think we should just start now. So once again, good afternoon, everyone. We are so delighted to have you all join us today. It's been a long time, and we apologize for not being able to meet in um, being able to meet physically. So welcome once again to today's learning forum, and the theme of the learning forum is maintaining exceptional scholarship in unusual times. So we are going to have four speakers speak to us, and there will be question and answers, and as well as discussions with the session host. So once again, I'm going to remind us to change the name of our Zoom to be our full name so that we can keep track of the participants. So you can over the name and change it to your full name. For example, my name is already changed to Kende Sunday. A quick one on the agenda for today. So we're going to have the national prayer, which is the second stanza of the national anthem, and we're going to have the welcome address, followed by the introduction. The reason why we're going to have the introduction again is because we observed that we have new inflow of intakes, so we'd like to meet everybody. After that, we're going to give the general updates on the happenings in the last few months. After that, we're going to go ahead and into the sections. Then we're going to have AOB and then closing remarks. We promise to keep it as short as possible and not take much of your time. So without further ado, let's have the national prayer. So I'm going to pray. So I'm going to start it so we can follow suit quietly.
God of creation, direct our noble course, guide our leaders right, help us use the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain to view the nation where peace and justice shall reign.
Thank you so much for that, Tomila. So the next on the agenda would be the welcome address. So very quick one. I'm going to be as fast as possible so that we can move to the agenda for the day. Dear participants, a warm welcome to you all on behalf of the ANSHK Executive Board. Let me welcome you all to the 2022 Annual ANSHK Learning Forum with the theme Maintaining Exceptional Scholarship in Unusual Times. We look forward to the many conversations that each panelist, section host, and participant will ignite during and after the online forum. The last of this event was held on 1st May 2021, where two seasoned panelists were invited. Dr. Padmo Hamora, a lecturer here in Hong Kong, gave a talk on mental health, the Indo generation, and mid-pandemic tendencies, a scholarly and African perspective. The second speaker, Mr. Innocent Mutanga from the African Center here in Hong Kong, gave an extensive talk on the topic, the other side of Hong Kong, the African community and the Black experts. That said, we wish to express our sincere gratitude to all panelists, section hosts, and participants of today's learning forum. Lastly, many thanks to all ANSHK members and executive board members for their relentless efforts in making the association better and improving the image of Nigerians and Africans in Hong Kong. I wish you all a pleasant and fulfilling time at this forum and beyond. Again, hello and welcome. So I'm going to introduce the executive board members to everyone again for the sake of the new people in our midst. So my name is Kenny Doyotunde. I'm the president of the association, and the secretary of the association is Tomilayo Petemi. Then we have Adegun Miracle as our treasurer, and in the office of the welfare, we have Ibrahim Adenero, and lastly we have Ikeolua Ogedengbe as the information officer. So Tomilayo, please go ahead and introduce the school representatives for us.
Thank you very much. For the sake of wider reach and coverage, we chose some school representatives for the 2021-2022 academic year. And representing CTU, we have Stanley Isanga. Okay, and for PolyU, we have Kende Temitope. Representing Hong Kong University of Hong Kong, we have Adeoti Blessing. For Lingnan University, we have Oyemi Dari. For Hong Kong Baptist University, we have Onyeka Odo. For Chinese University of Hong Kong, we have Okoli Chiamaka. And for Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, we have Adeleke Maradisa. So currently we have representatives in 7 universities and none in, I think, Education University. Yeah. So now we will like us to introduce ourselves, and we will like it to be very short, just your name and your university, just name and university. So so because if I wait for if I wait for us to just pick up and introduce, so I'll just call our names based on what I have on the participants list, and then you just tell us your name and your university. So I'm going to start with Tiamiyu.
Hello everyone. Tiamiyu.
Please, you can show your face too. I mean, because we don't have physical meetings, so this is an avenue to see our faces, so that when I see you on the streets, I will know this is Tiamiyu.
You can move on and get back to me, sorry.
Okay. Dr. Sunday.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Sunday Nunayo, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Faleti.
Good afternoon, everyone. Faleti from City University of Hong Kong.
Dr. Faleti.
Hello, can you hear me? Good afternoon.
It's so faint.
So faint. Okay. I mean, yeah. Good afternoon.
Okay, so we'll come back to you. Abdullah Isaka.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Abdullah Isaka from Hong Kong Polytechnic University.
Thank you very much. Sopuruchi.
Oh, we lost you there. I'm Sopuruchi Abo, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University.
Thank you. Maradisa.
Adeleke Maradisa from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Thank you.
Thank you. Hahimen. Emmanuel.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Maim Emmanuel, CTU.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can give it a try.
Okay, yes. Dr. Faleti.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Faleti Oluwashibom is my name, from City University of Hong Kong.
Thank you very much. Stanley.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley from CTU.
Iriaj Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Joy from HKUST.
Thank you. Adeoti Joy.
Good afternoon. I'm Joy from HK University.
Thank you. Ifunaya. Ifunaya.
Oh, so sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Ifudaya from Hong Kong Baptist University. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Olaoye.
Hi, I'm sorry I can't put on my camera. Kende
Okay.
from City University.
Thank you. Dr. Adiago.
Hello, everyone. Mujib Olamide Adiago from City University of Hong Kong.
Thank you. Adegun Miracle.
Good afternoon. My name is Miracle from HKUST.
Ojolekon.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ojolekon Damilola from City University of Hong Kong.
Thank you. Dr. Soyinka.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oluwale Shoyinka from HKU.
Thank you, sir. Kayode.
Hello, I'm Oyeshina Kayode from City University of Hong Kong.
Thank you. Shem. Shem. Dr. Kindness.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see your faces this afternoon. I am with City University of Hong Kong.
Thank you. Ilias.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elias Abdulmajid from CTU.
Thank you. Ibrahim.
Hi everyone, my name is Adenor Ibrahim. I'm from PolyU. Thank you.
Thank you. Ikeolua.
Hello everyone, my name is Ikeolua Ogidengbe and I am from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Siamiyu, we are back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Abgafar Tunde Tiamiyu, Chinese University.
Thank you. Timo.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Akinwande Timothy Olubenga, Timo from Hong Kong Polytechnic University.
Thank you. There's someone who's, I have iPhone. Please change your name. We want to see your name. There's someone, a participant with iPhone. Please change it to your name. Dr. Olawumi. Dr. Olawumi. Okay. Dr. Maxwell.
Hello, everyone. Good morning from the UK. So my name is Dr. Maxwell from Aston University. Thank you.
Thank you. President Kenny.
I thought I already introduced myself. Once again, I'm Kenny Yotunde from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Olawumi. Shem. Okay, the person with iPhone, please introduce yourself so that we can see your face. The participants with iPhone, please introduce yourself. Okay, Adeoti Blessing.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Blessing Adeoti, so in HKU. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. And I'm sorry, we have new guests, new people joining us. And Ayek Bashem.
Okay. My name is Sham from HKUST.
Thank you. Medeba Nunayo. I'm sorry if I have not called your name. Can you please unmute and just introduce yourself?
Well, I think you just called my name.
Yes.
Medeba Nunaya.
Thank you. From which school?
Hong Kong Baptist University.
Thank you. And yeah, so I think I have called everybody here. And Dr. Olawumi. Nicholas Adima. Nicholas Adima. Nicholas Adima. All right. For me, my name is. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Nicholas Adima. So,
please let us see your face.
Oh, I'm somewhere a little bit not convenient right now.
All right, no problem. From which school? Nicholas Adima.
From which Chinese school? University of Hong Kong.
Okay, nice to have you here. Dr. Salahuddin.
Lost construct.
Dr. Salahuddin. Dr. Olawumi, please, your name and your institution.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Dr. Timothy Olawumi from the UK. A nice journey up for this event this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Salahuddin. Okay, and my name is Petinri Olutomilayo Olayemi from City University of Hong Kong. Thank you very much. And now we will have the updates.
All right, so thank you so much, Tomilayo, for the introductions. For the updates, we would have Ikeoluwa give updates on some of the past happenings here in Hong Kong. Over to you, Ikeoluwa.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here for 2022's Annual Learning Forum, and I trust that it's going to be a wonderful time for everybody present. So once again, we are honored to have you join us, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to give us some of the updates we've had in the past 1 year. And for the first event we have here is the boot camp we had last year, I think May. And then we actually had 2 days of basic Python training. And we've made the video available. I mean, it's on our YouTube channel. I believe that the link will be made available shortly, but also the link to the video directly is shown here. And also you can actually access the videos and the slides, of course, that we use for the particular event on our websites, and the navigation to the particular page. We're going to see that is shown here under the news and events. Click on that, and then you see the bootcamp, and then from there you can get the link or download the slides and the video. Actually, somebody has shown us, somebody is kind enough to show us the link here. So you can also check the link for, sorry, the chat rather. So you're going to find a link to the videos there. So it's something you can actually refer to, further down the line. So it's a skill you learn as over time. So that's the first update. Please, next slide. Next slide. So as for the next event we have here, it's actually a personal branding for career advancement event that was organized by the British Consulate in conjunction with the African Center of Hong Kong, and it took place on the 24th of November last year. And as you can see here, it was such a great time. I was there, and trust me, it was wonderful. We learned a lot, we networked, we met people, we learned new things about how to craft a CV, how to chart a career path, how to set up, a profile in a public space using LinkedIn and other social media outlets. And trust me, people, it was really interesting. The updates of the event are available on our Instagram page and the Facebook page. The links are shown here, but I believe it will also be made available subsequently within the chat. So if you're interested in knowing more, you can actually check the chats. So we trust that subsequently doing more events like this. So having done this, I'm going to pass it on to, okay. Now the third event that we have here is the community service that we engaged in. I think that was towards the end of last year. We actually had a visit to Crossroads International, which is a well-known charity organization around the world. They actually have one of their major depots here in Hong Kong. And I think on the 18th of December last year, we were there to, help out with servicing. And of course, we had the blind decks and ADEX experiences, actually live simulation of, what it means to be blind or what it means to be infected with HIV and AIDS. And of course, that is just to stimulate empathy, of course, so that when they make appeal for funds to assistance volunteers, we know what this will go through and then, actually make contributions as necessary. So on the 20th of December, we actually went to town to distribute the goods that we got from Crossroads. And we were able to meet homeless people and dispense the goods that we got from Crossroads. So here we have pictures of our visits to both Crossroads and of course the location that we visited for the distribution, for the set distribution, and then details are available on our Facebook page. All links to these events are being provided in the chat box. So if you're interested in checking out more details, you should please click on the link and check it out later.
All right. Thank you so much, Ikeoluwa. So more updates will be given by Ibrahim. Please make it as quick as possible.
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, as part of our package to welcome the new students, we were at all the universities to welcome the new students and also to know how they are faring. These are pictures that were taken during the visit to the respective universities. We went to CTU, we went to Chinese U, we went to Poly U, we went to HKUST, and we went to all the universities per se. So next slide, please. Okay, and these are the updates. These are some of our wins in the past years. We have some of our scholars that graduated from their respective universities. We have Dr. Saliu Dauda, we have Dr. Adenle Yusuf, we have Dr. Salahuddin Mistura, Dr. Eze Vicenta, Dr. Sanka Abdurrashid, and Dr. Faleti Oluwasijubomi, who completed their PhD studies in their respective universities. And we also have Ms. Adebambo Adekemi and Ms. Oluwadari Anu that completed their MSc studies both in England universities. We also have two weddings. We have our president, Mr. Oyetunde Kehinde, that got married to his wife. Mr. Owuyemi Dari also got married recently. We have Beth, Dr. Soyinka Uluwole's family welcome a bouncing baby boy. Likewise, Mr. Ujibile Adedayo, who also welcomed a bouncing baby boy. Dr. Owolabi Abimbala's family welcomed a baby girl, and we have some of our members that get job positions, recognitions, and some moved out of Hong Kong. Some of them are Mr. Shaib David, who moved to the US, Dr. Taiwo Enayo Sunday, who moved to Canada, Dr. Akini Damilola, who moved to Coventry University in UK, and Dr. Adekola Tululope, who moved to Germany.
Thank you so much.
Celebrate with all of them, and we wish many more celebrations to come our way. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for the quick updates. So without wasting our time, we would move to the first section. So I would hand over to the anchors of the sections that in person of Ms. Chiamaka Okoli and Mr. Timothy Akiwande. Mr. Timothy Akiwande and Ms. Chiamaka Okoli, please, over to you.
Thank you very much, President Kenny. Ms. Chiamaka, please, can we hear from you?
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to anchor the section. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Chiamaka. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, the President and the body of ESCOs for this great opportunity to anchor this session. From the program, I think the first speaker is Dr. Maxwell Antwi Afar. And I am to introduce, to have his to have his introduction. Okay, so very quickly, Dr. Maxwell Fojo Antwi Afari is currently a lecturer in construction and QS at the Department of Civil Engineering, School of Infrastructure and Sustainable Engineering, College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, Aston University, Birmingham, in UK. He's also the program director for BSc Joint Construction Project Management, undergraduate degree study between Aston University, UK, and Northeast Forestry University, China mainland. He worked as a postdoctoral research fellow at the Department of Building and Real Estate, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University from April 2019 to July 2020. He attained his PhD in Construction Information Technology at the Department of Building and Real Estate at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University through the Postgraduate Studentship Scholarship in March 2019. His research interests focus on construction management and engineering, construction health and safety, smart construction informatics, construction ergonomics, digital technologies and innovations. That's e.g. building information modeling, BIM, wearable sensors, and robotics, and technology transfer in construction and biomechanical analysis. He has published more than 50 papers over the years in high-ranked peer-reviewed journals and conference proceedings. Maxwell has participated in writing several funded research grants and research projects. Recently, he successfully received a research grant from Aston Research and Knowledge Exchange, Pump Priming Fund 2021-2022 on a grant proposal entitled Digital Twin Enabled Wearable Sensing Technologies for Improved Workers, Activity Recognition and Work-Related Risk Assessment. He is a member of the Hong Kong Ergonomics Society, HKES, an associate member of American Society of Civil Engineers, ASCE, also an incorporate member of Ghana Institute of Construction, GIOC. So with a warm welcome, can we welcome Dr. Maxwell Antwi Afari to educate us and enlighten us on his allocated topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And okay, I'll be introducing the second speaker, and thank you. So the second speaker would be Dr. Kindness Alfred Uyanga, and she's currently a postdoc at the Department of Engineering, City University of Hong Kong. She received a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from Modibo Adama University of Technology, Yola, Nigeria in 2012, and her master's in chemical engineering with distinction at University of Benin, Uniben, Benin City, Nigeria in 2017. And at Uniben, Dr. Kindness focused her study on fabrication of organic solar cells. Dr. Kindness received her PhD in energy and environment from City University of Hong Kong in 2021, where she worked on synthesis and characterization of natural polymer-based hydrogels for wearable energy textiles such as self-cooling and self-warming fabrics. Dr. Kindness' research interests is in high-performance sustainable materials to promote a green environment. Her research areas include the synthesis of new functional biopolymer composites, synthesis and characterization of natural polymer-based hydrogels, and application of them in smart wearable energy textiles and devices. She's also registered with professional bodies, some of which include the Energy Institute, EI, Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, Society of Petroleum Engineers, and International Association of Engineers. So with a warm welcome, let's welcome Dr. Kindness Alfred as the second speaker. Thank you.
The session begins with Dr. Maxwell Afari. I thought that the introduction was just before he speaks. So with a warm welcome now, can we all welcome Dr. Maxwell Afari to go ahead with his presentation. Thank you. A round of applause, please. Let's give me a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me?
Very well, yes.
Okay, so please give me a moment. I want to share my slides. All right, I believe you can all see my slides and you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you very much once again. And thank you for the kind introduction and then inviting me as a speaker for today's webinar. So I think the ANSHK has already given a brief background of myself, and like he said, my name is Maxwell, and I spent like 5 years of my life in Hong Kong, actually in the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, doing PhD and also doing my postdoc. And in August 2020, I moved from Hong Kong to the UK, actually in Birmingham, to join Aston University as a lecturer in construction and chaos. And I believe I know most of you, just a few of you who maybe joined after August 2020, but maybe we might meet someday. All right, so thank you very much once again. And to begin with today's presentation, I have few outlines. So this is going to be the outline for my presentation, focusing on. So I'll first look at how can we conduct research, and then I'll look at how we can able to have some research outcomes or activities. Then I'll move on to talk about some aspirations of a researcher or academics. Then I'll move next to talk about citizenship and external engagement. And then lastly, I will focus on the effective self-management of research and academic activities during the pandemic. I think this is a very good topic for today's discussion, and I'm really honored to be the speaker. So without further much ado, I'll move on to the first part. And in conducting research, actually, I believe there are two main goals that every researcher, before you conduct any kind of research, you need to first have in mind before you begin your research. And these two main goals will constitute whether you have a new knowledge or a research problem. And the second one is whether you have a new concept or methodologies. And I believe even though my background is in construction, and we have diverse research disciplines across the participants here, I believe all the research that we conduct, whether we are in construction or we are in psychology or any other discipline, will fall between these two main categories. And when I talk about new knowledge, so with my background in construction, new knowledge usually must be in I think three main aspects. It can be a new knowledge in safety, construction safety, a new knowledge in construction quality, and new knowledge in construction time. So it's either safety, time, and then quality. So these are the broader knowledge where construction research mostly focus on. And then if we look at the methodologies, then there are several methodologies which have been applied within the construction discipline. And within my discipline, we can talk about sciences, right? So sciences is a methodology which can be used to solve knowledge in safety or probably in quality. So there are a lot of methodologies. We can talk about sciences. We can talk about the BIM, which is building information modeling. We can talk about robotics, right? So we have several. We can talk about blockchain. So all these kind of methodologies could be used to solve problems within the construction industry. So this is just a brief idea. For me, whenever I'm trying to conduct any research, I make sure that I have these two. If it is difficult to have these two concepts being new, at least you should have a new methodology or a new concept, right? Because I think the problems within construction keeps on repeating itself, right? Because safety has been an issue in construction over several decades, but we are still conducting research in construction safety. And we are able to conduct research in construction safety because we are using different methodologies, right? So I think if you are a researcher and then you should be able to conduct maybe innovative research, then you should mostly focus on new concepts or new methodologies which will guide you in solving the existing problems or new problems. All right, so in conducting research, we always need to have research outputs or outcomes, right? And there are various research outcomes which we have. So if we have if you're conducting a research, you should look out for the outcome of your research. It can be like a book, right? So you can decide to write a book. You can decide to write a chapter within the book. You can decide to write a journal article or a conference article. And you can also look into writing research grants or proposals. So with the concept of these new, concept and methodologies and the new knowledge and research problems, you should be able to come out with some ideas to write either of these or research outcomes, right? And then in construction, I think usually it is quite better for us to publish our research outcomes in journals. So journals is quite the most prestigious way for us to recognize your research outcomes. So you publish your work in journals, it can be, it is highly recognized than probably publishing maybe in conference papers or probably in book chat. Even though all these are really necessary, but if I should choose among them, then it's better that your research outcomes could be seen in journal publication other than conferences or book chapters. So these are some of the research outcomes, right, which we can have within construction. And then as a researcher, so we are all researchers, or we are all academics, depending on the stages that we are. Like I said, I'm a lecturer now. So from a lecturer, you can move on to different stages within the academic levels or the academic ladder. So first, you need to attain like your PhD, okay, or your Doctor of Science. So the first point of contact for you to become a lecturer or for you to join the academic environment is to attain your PhD. Then after attaining your PhD, you can become a postdoctoral fellow or a research assistant, right? So within the period of finishing your PhD and then getting a full-time academic position, then whilst we are waiting for these periods, you can be enrolled as a research assistant or a postdoctoral fellow. Then the first academic level that we have is that you can be a lecturer or you can be an assistant professor. So it depends on the institution and it depends on the country where you are. And in the UK academic level start from lecturer, right? But I think in Hong Kong they have the assistant professor, and then I think in most Asian countries like maybe Hong Kong, China, Singapore, they look at the assistant professor levels, and then in UK, and then probably in Australia and probably New Zealand, they also look out for the lecturer, senior lecturer, reader, and those kind of levels. So these are some of the aspirations that as a researcher you always need to look out for, because as you finish your PhD, you have to decide to move. That is if only you want to move into the academic environment, then you will one day become maybe a postdoctoral fellow, a lecturer, a senior lecturer, a reader, or associate professor, a full professor, a visiting professor, a chair professor, and then you can become a professor emeritus. So these are some of the aspirations that one day as a researcher you find yourself being into. But apart from these aspirations from a researcher, I believe there are other activities that you have to engage, right? So it's not only you being, like for myself, it's not only me being at Aston University and then being a lecturer over there, right? Because if you want to probably go in for promotion, right, from maybe a lecturer to maybe senior lecturer, they look out for other kind of activities, or we call them citizenship. In the UK, they refer them as citizenship. So what are some of these activities that you do apart from probably teaching as a lecturer? So you can be a program director, and in the UK they have various program directors. You can be the program director for the undergraduate program, or you can be the program director for the masters and then the other disciplines. So you can also be the head of department or the head of school or faculty. Then within any institutions, there are several research centers or institutes, right? And then in Aston, we have, I think, 3 major research institutes. So it's better that you become a member of the institute, or probably you are the director of the institute. And then another external way of engaging with the academic community is becoming a reviewer, editorial board, and maybe scientific committee for conference organizations. So this is also quite important, because if probably you are a reviewer in a very prestigious journal, then you begin to know most of the works which are being done within your discipline, right? Because if probably you publish in those journals, then the editor usually send some of the manuscripts, the submitted manuscript to you as a reviewer for you to review them. Then by so doing, you began to know more of the research activities which is being done within your discipline. And then you can also be like an external examiner. And here I'm looking at you being an external examiner for maybe a master's or a PhD viva, right? So it's quite important, like to be an external examiner for maybe someone who has recently finished his or her PhD. Then in the UK, and actually not only in the UK, it is quite important to also be a member of professional bodies. And in construction, I think the main professional body is CIOB, and we also have the RIS, and I think we have CIBCS. So there are actually quite a lot of
Hi, sorry,
professional bodies.
excuse me, sir, please, sorry. Do you mind rounding up? I'm so sorry to cut you short, but your time is already.
Okay.
Can you round up, please? Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Then you can also be a pro vice chancellor. So let me now look into the effective self-management of research activities during the pandemic. So first, I believe as a researcher, we always need to set goals, right? But if you set goals, please be flexible and then be adaptable. Then I call something the 3 Ps. So even if you set goals, please be patient, be perseverant, and be prayerful. And then within the academic discipline, you always need to work hard and keep your consistency, right? And you have to believe in yourself, right? And at some point in time, you have to be self-evaluate and then be transparent. And then in the research, you cannot only do things by yourself. So it's always good for you to network or connect with people, right, within your discipline. And then for you to be able to be active during this pandemic, you also need to manage your time very well. So manage your time in terms of your family. If you have like a wife, and then you have children, manage your time for your hobbies, your health, and if there are any voluntary activities. And then you should have a growth mindset, right? So a growth mindset will enable you to be able to have effective management during this pandemic. And then lastly, you may also look for other awareness, like in terms of training. If there are any kind of training that you could like to, which would help you in utilizing your research, please make use of them. And you need to be self-motivated and also celebrate your success. So here, I mean, not just maybe publishing maybe a paper, but you have to celebrate your milestones, because in this era of the pandemic, and there are a lot of things happening. So even if you can write maybe an introduction of your paper or something, just need to celebrate your success or your milestone. And lastly, you always have to be happy and then joyful, because no matter what, whether there are rejections, there are always room for improvement. All right, so thank you very much, and this is the end of my presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. So the second speaker would start, but please, I want to remind our speakers, we love you very much, but please don't exceed the time. It's just 10 minutes for each presentation. Thank you so much. Please, Miss Dr. Kindness, please, can you take over? Thank you.
Sorry, may I also add that the second speaker has 10 minutes. I think we should stress that. I'm sorry I didn't mention it the first time. You have 10 minutes to speak, so please try to compress within the 10 minutes. Then the members here should prepare their questions for the panelists. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, please.
All right. Dr. Maxwell has already spent much time on certain things a researcher can do, and goals, aspirations. Yeah, my presentation will be on the same topic, However, I want to focus more on self-management because from experience, I see that this is very helpful in your success as a researcher. So my presentation will be very brief, and these are actually the content of my presentation. I'll first start with definition of the key terms in this presentation. So you can see most of my definition are actually based on Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and also some words from World Health Organization when it came to defining what pandemic is. So you can read what the researcher is on my screen and what research is. So as a researcher in Hong Kong or internationally, you spend time to examine certain things, investigate them, experiment, so you can contribute to the development of your immediate society. And a researcher could be from the academia, industry, government, or private. Yeah, and then when it comes to pandemic, it is something global, widespread. And we have had many pandemics from history: malaria, HIV/AIDS, the Spanish, what people call Spanish flu, and currently we have COVID. And who knows, the world keeps changing, so pandemic may still occur tomorrow or next. But how the threat continues globally and also affects, the reality is that it affects research and researchers. And most common is the fatigue that comes with it. But what can you do as a student in Hong Kong or a researcher anywhere to cope? So I bring together the signs and symptoms of the pandemic fatigue. So you see, you become weak, pathetic, you don't really have interest in your work, no motivation, hopelessness. You become so bored, for example, you just do not even want to stick to the rules. Again, you're so like, I'm exhausted, I don't need to do this. So, and this actually affects your research in the sense that mentally you are not balanced and focused to be able to be productive. So what to do? It's actually a serious threat in the sense that there are different reports reporting. You lose motivation, to practice social distancing. Government will say, stay at home. You're like, please, I need to take fresh air. Put on your mask. You don't want to, you give up. You become even afraid of the people around you, yourself. Oh, have I cut this? I need to use the elevator. Oh, I need to use a paper. You see people having different, expressing this fatigue in different ways. You become lazy, and this affects your productivity in your research. But with all this, is optimal productivity still possible? Yes, it is. Don't lose hope. So the next two slides, I'm gonna give some recommendations, simple and basic. So the simple things usually are what matters most and that can really help and have helped people to succeed. So the government says social distancing, but social distancing doesn't mean physical distancing. Sorry, physical distancing doesn't mean social distancing. So you can do simple telephone calls, call your fellow researchers, call your family back at home, you have family here, friends. Hello friend, how are you today? I just called to check on you. So things like that can help you maintain mental balance to be able to do your work. Then make the best of your current circumstances. You can, I have enough time to be on my own. So you have enough quiet time. Focus on writing, could be a paragraph a day. Just set a goal. I want to learn how to draw, or I want to nurse a plant. So you start growing a flower around you. You see the flower in the morning, you wake up, you smile, you're happy, and you can move ahead. Then stick to a routine. So good to make a schedule. specify the time for research, time for exercise, time for personal chores, time for spiritual activities. So make a schedule, stick to it over time, revise your schedule, and then see changes you can make, then revise it. Then be persistent. So a step at a time, an hour at a time, you make progress. So be persistent, don't give up. Then continue to practice the safe rules that the government has set. In Hong Kong, I got this from the Hong Kong website, stay at home, observe personal hygiene, simply washing your hands once you step into your house. Yeah, use the sanitizer if you have some feelings you've touched something that you're not comfortable with, then try to observe these things. So unity is strength. So always focus on thinking how your action affects the people around you. Then identify your fears and cultivate contentment. Be grateful, be thankful for each day. Yeah, what have I achieved today? Be happy about it. So this will also help to keep you happy. And once you're happy, you can be more productive. Then build physical and mental resilience. Yeah, you need to know how to develop yourself to withstand whatever pandemic storm, academic storm, financial storm. So you need to develop this aspect. So maintain hope. Then in conclusion, self-management is effective for optimal productivity, be it academic productivity, all round. So the simple things are important. Protect yourself, stay calm, stay informed, stay healthy by doing the simple basic things. So I love this quote, so I got it from the internet. It says, don't try to overhaul your life overnight. Instead, focus on making one small change at a time. Over time, those small changes will add up to a big transformation. So don't give up. So for all you who are new in Hong Kong, all of us that have been in Hong Kong for a while, and all of us, even those that have left Hong Kong and have gone internationally. So I encourage all of us to keep going, because the pandemic is global and it affects us not just academically, but all around. So we need to be strong for ourselves and for each other. So do not fail to reach out. Thank you for the opportunity to give this presentation.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for such impactful presentations. We just want to say thank you to our first speaker, Dr. Maxwell. And please, if you have any question, can we leave it on the chat box? Thank you. Yeah, I'll let my thank you. I'll let my co-host, Mr. Tim, to ask the questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the opportunity to ask the questions. And thank you to our speakers for such an insightful presentation, both Dr. Maxwell and Dr. Izanga, the last speaker. Sorry, everybody for me. Okay, so there are some questions in the chat box. Very quickly, without much ado, I want to read from the chat box. There's a question sent directly to me that says that, how do I manage productivity pressure? This is for Dr. Maxwell. How do I manage productivity pressure from my supervisor, despite the fact that I have limited access to research facilities due to COVID restrictions? That's the first question. Would you rather I take the whole questions, or you want to answer just after asking?
I believe it's better to respond to each question so that maybe I don't forget. Please, can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that may also take some time, you think? Well, we'll try as much as possible to be fast. The question again: how do I manage productivity pressure from my supervisor, despite the fact that I have limited access to research facilities due to COVID restrictions? That's the question, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for whoever asked this question. And I'm beginning to try to relate this question to my own personal experience when when I was in Hong Kong pursuing my PhD. And actually, there are a lot of there are a lot of pressure in terms of in Hong Kong, a lot of pressure in terms of publishing your research for publications, and to manage some of these things from your supervisor. Actually, you need to work hard. For me, I didn't only have to follow my supervisor's lead. I need to go beyond whatever meetings that I have with my supervisors, right? So instead of always waiting to have meeting with the supervisor for him or her to tell you, okay, do this, edit this paper, review this paper, do this. You don't need to wait for them. Other than that, they'll always give you a lot of pressure, okay? So don't wait. You don't have to, because one thing that you have to note is that—
Sorry, Dr. Maxwell, we need to be very fast. We have, I think, 15 minutes for the entire questions.
Okay.
So we couldn't spend all of the time on just one. So I think we got the point that you shouldn't wait for your supervisor to mount pressures on you. Rather, do your task, have time lapse for every activity you are doing for yourself. So thank you, sir. So very quickly, the second question for you.
I think, sorry, Timo, I think Dr. Kindness raised a hand. Dr. Kindness?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, her digital hand. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, yeah. Dr. Oyanga, could you?
Yes, I would like to also contribute to that question. So sometimes, as a researcher, out of imperfection, you may feel you know too much, or you think you have your own viewpoint, your supervisor has his own viewpoint. So two things that can help you: humility and attentiveness. Be humble and listen. Sometimes your supervisor, out of experience, knows what he wants and the direction he really wants you to take. So when you are humble and you listen, you don't be surprised, you will discover what really he wants from you. And you can also compare with what is in the literature, what is being done, and ensure you do something different, something that makes your work stand out. Yeah, so by so doing, you will see you progress. And then once you're humble and content, you have a calm mind, so you'll be able to see clearly. So you need to try to organize yourself in and out, so you'll be able to produce. And once that disunity occurs between you and your boss, it's difficult to move ahead. So you find a way to make that relationship, to build it and make it strong. Then you see how much progress you can make even within a short period of time. And know that whatever you're doing, whether you're doing it on your own or with your supervisor, you're doing it for yourself. So you will be able to achieve so much within a short period of time.
Thank you, Dr. Kindness, for the, I'll say, sagacious addition to the already submitted response. I think we should be open-minded as researchers, be open-minded, never have a closed mind. Thank you very much. The second question for the panelists with family goes thus: how did you maintain research momentum when you had to spend more time at home with your family during the lockdown? Can we quickly have quick responses from both Dr. Maxwell and Dr. Kindness? Thank you.
All right. So with this question, I believe for us, probably in the UK, what we do is that, because I have like my teaching period, so I do all my teaching periods from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. right? So apart from this period, whatever I do is for family, for either going to grocery, doing some grocery, or going to the market, or doing other things. So you have to stick to your teaching period, or probably your research period. Other than that, you'll be working overtime, and then it will affect your productivity. So always stick to your period that you are supposed to do your research and also do your teachings in terms of any activity.
Thank you, Dr. Maxwell. Dr. Kindness?
Yeah, in Hong Kong, we've never had a lockdown. So I had a work schedule. So I go to the lab when I need to go to the lab. I write in my room when I need to write in my room. So I just make sure I have a schedule, and then lab, write, go to library when I need to go to library. So that was how I was able to finish my PhD.
Thank you. Thank you. I believe that the listeners are taking notes, and so I'll take the last question from this set. So after this question, I'm going to leave the floor for my co-host to kindly continue. So the last question goes thus: what advice will you give to scholars just commencing their research in Hong Kong universities, given the fact that here the government's response to outbreak is volatile and absolutely binding? I probably need to take that question again. What advice will you give to scholars just commencing their research in Hong Kong universities, given the fact that here the government's response to outbreaks is volatile and absolutely binding? So thank you. Could you have quick responses while Ms. Chiamaka will take over from me?
I believe probably if you are beginning your research, you always need to have a plan. Like I said earlier, if you have a plan about if your supervisor on the meetings and then what you're supposed to do, maybe if you're supposed to maybe write chapters or maybe write articles, once you have the plan and then you focus on the plan, you should be able to navigate through your research life in Hong Kong or maybe in the UK or anywhere.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I would like to, before Miss Dr. Kindness answers, I'll just show this last question to her because of the time. And I wanted to ask him, please, in terms of publishing, right, and with as people that want to further their education and maybe become a lecturer or maybe fellow like you, both you and Dr. Maxwell, in terms of publication, how do you choose the right journals to publish, and how does it actually count your ranking or rating when you're applying to be maybe a lecturer in Hong Kong or maybe elsewhere? Could you just give us an advice, ma? Thank you.
Yes, it is not by impact factor. Many people confuse that. Your field has a ranking. Each field has its ranking. I cannot remember the link. Maybe you can contact me directly. I can share the link with you. You just search your field, and then you see the ranks, the journals, the journal ranking in that field. So you can find that in a field like textiles, or depends on the field. So you see the impact factor could be low, but the ranking of the journal is high. Yeah, so I think that website helped me a lot to be able to find the most fitting journal to publish. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma. I'll give over to the next host to go ahead with the rest of the sections. Thank you.
I think we missed the question in the chat box from.
Yes, there are questions.
So it was specifically for Dr. Maxwell. There's a question for Dr. Maxwell.
Okay, so should I throw it to him? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. So it says, from your life experience, what has helped you the most to navigate your career? Sorry, to navigate your career steps and choices apart from God and praying?
Yeah. So I think usually I try to plan for my life. Probably after my PhD. I told myself that, okay, I want to just spend 2 years to do my postdoc. Then during the postdoc, because you don't have to wait, you always need to be proactive. And then during my postdoc, I was applying for jobs, right? I was applying for jobs not only in UK, in US, in New Zealand, and a lot of universities. And then hopefully I got this job. So you always need to have the plan. You have to be proactive about what you want to achieve next, right? You don't need to wait before things become maybe less flexible before you do things. Always be proactive in your career.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Maxwell, and thank you so much, Dr. Kindness. We really appreciate it. So someone in the chat section said if it's possible for you to drop your email addresses so that they can contact you for further questions or engagement. And of course, Dr. Kindness, I would like to see the link that you mentioned. Thank you so much. So And thanks so much, Chiamaka and Mr. Timothy for anchoring the first section. So without taking much of our time, we would move to the second section. So over to the anchors of the second section, Rejoice, Akaniro, and Joy. Miss Joy, please, over to you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Well, we'll move on to the second section without wasting much time. And the first speaker for this session is Dr. Damilola Akineyi. A brief biography of Dr. Damilola. Dr. Damilola Akineyi obtained his PhD degree in geotechnical engineering from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology in 2019 with a postgraduate studentship award. After his graduation, he took up a position as a postdoctoral research fellow at the same university till 2021. He then worked as a geotechnical engineer at AECOM Asia Limited for a few months before joining Coventry University in 2022. He's an enthusiastic civil engineer, experienced in geotechnical analysis and design. He has over 6 years working experience in teaching, research, and construction practice. Akineyi Damilola's research focused mainly on the engineering behavior of unsaturated soils. Much of his contribution seeks to improve the fundamental understanding of soil's response to the changing climate variables, that is precipitation and temperature, through laboratory testing and numerical modeling. His research interests include unsaturated soil mechanics, thermal effects on soil behavior, soil improvement, multi-phase flow, that is the microstructural characterization of pure networks in the soil. So, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome Dr. Akineyi to take over the stage for his presentation.
Okay. Before we have Dr. Akineyi, so briefly, can Joy introduce the next speaker? So then we'll go back to Dr. Akineyi.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Thank you. Joy.
Yes, thank you. We have our next speaker, Dr. Timothy Olawumi. And you're an assistant professor at the School of Engineering and the Built Environment, Edinburgh, Napier University, United Kingdom. He obtained his PhD in construction engineering and management from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University here in Hong Kong. He's previously worked as a postdoctoral fellow at the Chinese National Engineering Research Center for Steel Construction, PolyU. He's also worked in Nigeria as an academic in FUTA, as a practitioner in local and multinational construction companies. He holds the membership of some professional bodies in the UK, Hong Kong, and Nigeria, including a member of Engineering Professors Council, UK, and RICS Chartered membership. He currently serves on the editorial board of 3 reputable journals, 2 of which are SCI-indexed. He has authored over 40 papers with over 1,480 citations. He was a recipient of some research-based awards from the Chartered Institution of Building in 2018 and the Australian Institute of Building in 2019. And recently, the Research Excellence Award by Beam Africa in 2021. He has also secured in excess of €172,000 from 3 competitive grants. He is generally interested in applying digital technologies such as blockchain, cloud systems, and BIM, sustainability and data-driven techniques in construction management and engineering issues. Very impressive, Dr. Timothy.
Thank you so much, Joy, for the introduction. So quick one to Dr. Damilola Akineyi. Please, you have the stage.
Good morning from here. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Good. So good to be with you guys this morning. Sorry, I just woke up not quite long, so I hope my voice will be clear enough for you guys to get the message. So this morning, the ESCOs has invited me to make a presentation on. Let me make it simple. Okay, dynamic career planning, exploring opportunities, and dealing with challenges in global uncertainties. So my name is Damilola Kenny, as rightly introduced, and I'm a lecturer at Coventry University. So this is very brief. I think I have just 10 minutes. So the outline of the presentation, I will just briefly introduce the concept of linear relationship, and then I'll talk about the dynamic mindsets. So first of all, what do I mean by the concept of linear relationship? So in life, we are all good in planning, okay, linkage between our goal and our time, which is obvious, which is normal, right? As a PhD student, you're able to, okay, come up with your plan. So first of all, for example, this is just a case study of a 5-year plan for a typical PhD student in Hong Kong. So you plan that, okay, the first year you get enough data, if possible, you get a review paper, and then you publish on paper. Okay, so you publish paper 1, and then after some time you publish paper 2 and 3, and then you learn a new skill, attend conferences, go for student exchange, and you publish paper 4, you graduate, you find a postdoc, you get your dream job. Wow, what a great plan. So this is typical, right? Okay, this is what you want and stuff like that. And then we make the mistake. When we are linking these goals together, then we use this line. So this is where the linear relationship comes in. Okay, I do this, I do this, I do that. But actually, this is too idealistic, right? And it's not real. And you agree with me that life is not so easy. Trust me. So this relationship actually fails to accommodate several things, which I would like to emphasize. Number one is delayed review process. Imagine you planned that, okay, by maybe by the beginning of year 2, the paper 1 is already published, and unfortunately it didn't go that way. Okay, you have not actually accommodated for rejected papers within your plan. These are things that actually kill people emotionally when things are not going the way you want. Okay, equipment unavailability as well, you didn't cater for that in your plan. Health challenges, relationship challenges, marital home, whatever challenges, delay in finding postdoc and job, change of research direction, issues with your supervisor or whatever. You know, these are things that are uncertain in this life, right? So these are things that could actually come our way. But unfortunately, most of the time, if you have this concept, okay, this is how I plan everything to go step by step, it doesn't work that way, and it could actually kill your self-esteem and hinder you from actually achieving your career goal. So this is where dynamism comes in. Okay, so I'm talking about the reality of life right now. Okay, so this graph shows typically how things could go during your PhD journey. I tell you, so at some point while you actually think you are publishing your number 1 paper, that's towards the maybe middle of your program. You are still trying, maybe you are just getting your paper 1 published, right? And at some point where you actually plan that, okay, at this point I should be getting my dream job, you are just publishing your 2nd paper, right? And when you think, okay, I should have gotten my dream job, enjoying and settling down, you are still applying for a job, right? So at those points, what do you do as a researcher? Okay, this is where dynamism comes in, and that is why I actually like the topic dynamic career planning. Okay, so this dynamism is actually telling us that as researchers, we need to manifest that force, that energy, that drive, you know, get up, go, and ginger. Okay, we need it. It's very important, especially in this uncertain world. Okay, so when things don't go as you plan, you need to be kind to yourself. You need to reflect on your past successes. You've done it before. How did you win this KPFS? How did you get the PGS? If you are not good enough, so you are good enough. Okay, so you just need to know that and be dynamic in your plan. Don't keep your eye on the go and keep running. And then you start exploring. If something is not working, can you learn something new? Seek support from those you trust. Okay, these are things that you need to do when things are not going the way you want. Okay, so then let me just move on to strategies to explore. Okay, so I talked about exploration. So how do you explore? Number 1, what do you want? You need to know that. Okay, you do some personal assessment, define your career goal. This is what I want to be. Then what do I need? you do some market analysis. Okay, if this is what I want to be, what do I need to get to this point? And then identify some relevant career information sources and trends in your research or whatever that you think is important for you to know. These are process of exploration. I'm emphasizing personal and business contacts here because I think that most of these career information sources actually come from your personal contacts. Of course, you can get some relevant information online as well, but you need to keep contact, okay, with your friends, especially those you are working within some your research field. You have some research directions, similar research directions. Talk to them, okay, keep contact and learn from them as well. They know trends. So when you know that, and then the next thing is, what do I have? Okay, you do some self-evaluation. Do I really have all I need to get what I really want to do? If you don't, then guess what you do not have yet? Obtain right skill sets, experience, do some professional development courses, do some training and volunteering. So this will inform your decisions, okay? This will inform your decision, and then know where your opportunities are. Okay, you need to know where your opportunities are. The location, the economy of the country you want to apply to, so that you won't just be, shooting anyhow, right? Whatever you just want to apply. So these are very important. And then finally, good presentation skills. Okay, sometimes you don't need to have all, right? I'll give a typical example now of some of market analysis I've done, and then some of the things you need, but you don't need to have all, okay? Even the 5 you have, learn how to present them effectively, so that you can appear as if you have the whole world. Meanwhile, you actually have nothing, at some point in my PhD, when I actually had a good plan, okay, by year 4, I would have this paper and stuff like that. And then at my 3rd year, I was just getting my first paper published, even though I submitted at year 1, right? So rejections, long review process. If I won, I submitted in September 2017, and then one of the review came on my birthday, which was rejection, right? Just received, that was the first birthday gift I got during my PhD, right? So, and then I have submitted again, rejection, submitted. So it took a long time, right? So the few I got, how did I present them in a way that at least will still present me that, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Okay, so you need to learn that as well. So these are part of the things we need to explore as a PhD student. So this is just an example with typical market analysis. So define your goal. Do you want an academic job or an industrial job? Within academics, are you more interested in research and teaching, or teaching and research? You need to be clear in your mind. What do you really want? Okay, for research and teaching, what do I need? Okay, these are examples of what you need. Do you have Sigma publications, evidence of editorial review services, invited speakers, laboratory setup? Know what you need. Tick the boxes. Okay, the ones you don't have, look for where you can get them. And then for teaching and research, if you know that, okay, I'm not really good in this plan, in this research teaching side, because I don't have all I need, then look at the other side. What about teaching and research? Have you been involved in teaching high school students? You can package them. Have you been involved in teaching some tutorials? Teaching is run from tutorials. Okay, do you have teaching qualifications? Can you get some? There was a point when my research wasn't going well, I started exploring how to get teaching qualifications, right? So the dynamism comes there. I don't have to, because my paper is not going the way I want, I keep look down on myself and I don't look for another way out. So you explore marking and grading. Have you been involved in that? Have you given student feedback, assessment strategy? Do you have student feedback survey? Compile this document and see how you can present yourself. This is what I have, this is who I am, and then you keep your eye on the go. And if it's industry as well, look at what you need. Have you been involved in knowledge, contract bidding? Are you a member of a professional body? Even graduate member is enough. Do you have good digital skills? Have you been a member of a team? Have you led the team before? Stuff like that. You need to know, okay, these are what I need to package into my application document so that I can get to what I actually want to get to in my career. So finally, I'll just round up with this dynamic mindset. First of all, we all know that, okay, as I said earlier, it is not a so smooth journey. Trust me, it is not, right? Taken by, of course, some people are so lucky and highly favored, and then everything just keep going one by one. You submit, you get paper 1, paper 2, and then by your 4th year, you already have 10 papers. Wow, bravo, congratulations, okay? But some of us, it doesn't go like that for us, okay? So just know that the path might be rough. I tell you, it might be. This is why we need to be dynamic as Nigerian students, okay? Look for opportunities, learn something new, and leap, take the action. If it doesn't work, repeat the cycle. Look for opportunities again, talk to people, learn something new, improve yourself, and take the action and leap. Don't give up, okay? Be positive-minded, be willing to explore, be willing to learn, be willing to improve, refine your plans and ideas, and keep your eye on the goal, okay? With that dynamic mindset, whatever comes your way, trust me, you are good to go. Okay, you just use them as a stepping stone. Even if things are not going down your way, just know, okay, I'm still moving forward, just that the path is a bit slopey right now, but it's a matter of time, I'll get to where I want to go to. Okay, so at this point, I would like to rest my case, and I hope I've encouraged you to be dynamic as you keep planning your career, and I wish you all the best. Okay, so thank you very much, and bye for now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Damilola. That was a very interesting presentation, and I'm more than motivated to be dynamic. And thanks for keeping to the time. Move on to the next presenter, Dr. Timothy Olawumi. Please take over the stage for presentation.
I think I need to share. Okay. Okay. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you once again for this invitation, and also to present for you. I'm presenting on dynamic career planning, exploring opportunities and dealing with challenges in global uncertainties. So my name is Dr. Timothy Olawumi from Napier University. This is just a brief outline of what you might likely need when you are trying to plan a career. First, you have to start with a assessment. Who are you? What are your skills? When I mean skills, I don't necessarily mean maybe. I think I'm echoing.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Seems echoing at my head.
No, it's
Mute one of your devices, sir.
Hello?
One of your devices. Perhaps the video could be muted.
I'm coming. Let me try to skip echoing. Hello? Okay, I think it's better now.
It's better.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
So you have to think of lifestyles, your work values. Because most times when you try to plan a career, like, oh, if I know this, if I know that, in some organizations, even in higher institutions, they don't. In higher education, universities, they don't most time need your skills. They want to see maybe team working, communication skills, things like that. Maybe that's what they require. So we might need to assess that. Then we can now go to exploration. That is workshop, conferences, professional association. We're talking more about some of this later on. But if I can't talk on this, just have a overview of what career planning development looks like. The informational interviewing, job sites, Q&A forums. Then the next stage is for you to try out the career. That can be via part-time work, internship, job shadowing. That is working on the job, knowing what they are doing without actually getting paid. Volunteering, summer job, first contract or maternity cover. Then taking action, probably preparing your resume, cover letter, networking, interviewing, salary negotiation, and rest like that. The most important thing here is being motivated. It's very much important because in planning your career, you must be motivated. Know what you are, what you want to do, and wishing out for it. It's much important. If you put everything together and you're not motivated to pursue it, then you might not be able to achieve your goal. Let us look at how we can explore opportunities. Let me go over it one after the other. Collaboration. When I make collaboration, your parent colleagues in your department, where you are, whether you're doing your master's or PhD, your professors, interested people, don't limit yourself to the university in Hong Kong. Try to know people in the industry. startups. There are a lot of startups in Hong Kong. Try to know the with them. Try to know them, and not just within Hong Kong as also try to know people outside Hong Kong, professors. So when you are putting your reference, you won't be putting all your reference are just Hong Kong people or Nigerian people. Try to put a reference, someone that is outside Hong Kong, in your CV. So it's there your collaboration that they can able to say much about you. For example, one of those people I put my CV then was a dean, one of the universities in US, who has previously worked in Hong Kong, in UK. So, and during my interview, it was like one of the professors was like, how do you know this man? Oh, I've collaborated with him before. And we're like, okay, that means they can trust me. Then also, Dr. Dami have talked about some of it. Getting teaching certification is very much important if you intend to go to teaching line. Also, professional certification as well. Some of it you can get on Coursera, Future Learning, I think for teaching certification, although some are outside that. Then membership of professional organization is quite good as well. Then also there are some skill-based, profession-based membership as well. Try to get that as well. You might not be aware, probably if you talk with your program leader, with your professors, there are some that you can even get because you are doing a master's or PhD in Hong Kong. Hong Kong universities they have some collaboration with some professional bodies that you can even get it. The main membership just being a PhD student, just being a master's student. So please try to do your research. And also try to improve your technical skills and add more to it as well. And also your soft skills. Most times in our CVs, we have to know, because of our background, we talk more about our technical skills, our experience. But we hardly talk about our leadership skills. We don't have more section of that in our CV. We hardly talk about our team working, our problem-solving skills, our communication, our work ethics. All this is very much valuable, in Western countries if you have if that's your goal. There's also try to be engaging and share your progress with your mentors. Make good use of social media like LinkedIn. Don't spend much of your time on Twitter, on Facebook. Yeah, it's good, but let me tell you, you are likely to get more people on LinkedIn than on Facebook. Get collaboration. Then also focus on quality over quantity. In paper publishing, whatever things you do, focus on the quality aspect, not quantity. Because you don't know, people might read your work, and that can be an edge when it comes to getting a job or getting your next career. Then look for opportunities to ask questions in workshops, in conferences. Don't just focus on conferences alone. There are some conferences being held on live on LinkedIn. Go for that as well. Looking at challenges, we face a lot of challenges. Of course, in our pursuit of our, plan our careers. Then one of it is failures and rejection. Some of it Dr. Dami have talked about. So you have to know how to deal with it. Many times I remember then you think, oh, I have a lot of papers. Yes, I also have my own major failures. I just woke up by 3 a.m. to use the toilet and receive rejection emails and not be able to sleep till 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Yes, I've experienced that a number of times. So and also you have to know what you're lacking and bridge the gap between what the academic needs, the work system of academic, what they need, and the industry, so that you need to fit in both. Whether you, as a PhD student or master's student, you're not just lopsided into one aspect, just academics. So try to balance everything together so that when you're searching for a job, you have many places you can fit yourself in. And also, of course, you normally face anxiety when you try to forward into a new career, into a new area, probably different from your undergraduate or master's. Like myself, my PhD was different from my undergraduate program, so there was a lot of anxiety. And when I was looking for a job as well, or like, oh, what should I go for? So try to deal with that as well. Sometimes also we self-sabotage ourselves. We are like, oh, I'm not too good enough. Oh, I've received a lot of failures. Maybe I'm not too good. I faced that as well. I know there was a period of time, about 3 or 4 months, I just refused applying for any job. Like, why I do interview? Sometimes I'll be ranked second, sometimes I'll not be even given the feedback. I just refuse during the interview, applying for jobs. Probably I may have gotten some in those periods. So don't self-sabotage yourself. Then also know how to prepare for interview, know what is required in cover letter, know how to respond to personal specifications as well. It's quite very important, and it can give an edge, and also know how to trumpet, your work. So what next? That's maybe the question, in career planning. So most time in academics, we think that, we can only work in universities. Yes, it's one of it, faculty position, but we can also work in scientific or grant management companies or institutions, in scientific or medical information service, or even the public sector. So don't just limit yourself to universities. Oh, I'm a PhD, so I must work in university. It doesn't work like that. You don't have to work like that. Then also, it might be your interest in communication, think tanks, journalism. It's not only someone that reads journalism that goes into that. You can apply that knowledge and be writing, articles on that, and work with think tanks. There are a lot of that in the world. You can work with them, submit applications based on your expertise, and you find yourself very quickly, it's very quickly to rise in that area once you have the background knowledge. The public relationship consultancies as well. Then also, we want to go into technical areas like data science, software, informatics, operational research, project management. Try to apply those skills that you have. Then also, if you want to now apply maybe in practical problems, you can have a startups. There are a lot of fundings, even non-con, that you can benefit from. So you don't have to work under somebody. Then also it can be about how you develop something in your PhD. You can transfer the tech maybe to all these big organizations and see whether they are interested in it, or probably divert to patent law. So these are some of the areas you can consider, not just academics or universities alone. So try to think wide and see, and that's why you have to explore, ahead of time before you complete your PhD or master, so that you know where you can apply to. What are the job descriptions? How they post such job online? What are the keywords they use? This can be of help to you. And also, career planning never ends. Even when we are on the job, probably on the job now, probably you just took a leave to continue to plan, or probably after you got a job, probably after your master's or PhD, it never ends. I remember even this year alone, I've had 2 different meetings, one with my line manager and one with my a professor. Like, okay, what next? My next rank is actually professor. What do I need to get? What? And I noted down. I started taking those I've completed and those are not even started. And this shows that I have a focus of what next. I'm not just sitting down at, I've gotten a job, or I'm a permanent staff, or let me just enjoy the money. I want to reach the top, so I start planning ahead. So for interview tips, you have known about the star format, but there's one that's more easy to remember, which is the CAR format. A contest, challenge, then we have the action and results. So you might go of using that. So you can go and read more about that. This one is not my own technique. So you can go and read more about that. It's easier to remember when you're doing interview. Then also be smart in discussing what you intend to contribute to the company or university and how. Don't just say, don't talk much about what you have done in the past. They have seen that in your CV. Talk about how you want to contribute. I developed that technique towards the time I got this job, and it was really helpful because we are able to discuss more on what I want to contribute rather than what I've done in the past. Specific goal, probably you are in university setting. Tell them, I want to publish so number of papers in a year. I want to get a grant, maybe in the next, at least one grant in the next 1 to 2 years. Or these are what you want to contribute. Let it be tangible, but measurable. And time bound. And when they see that in you, they're like, this person have understand our company, understand what we do, and understand how we intend to fit in, not just doing what they have been doing, but doing something differently. And once you do that one, we are very sure of at least having a hedge, in getting a job. And I've shared these tips with about 2 or 3 people, and in their next interview job, they got the job. So you can try to adapt that when you are trying to apply for a job. Then also negotiate. Negotiate. Know what you want. When I was applying for job, I must apply for senior lecturer jobs because I look at most of the jobs roles. So I must apply for that, which is equivalent to assistant professor. So I know what I want, and when you get on the job, negotiate what you want. The systems, the labs, if you can negotiate for that, but most times it's difficult to negotiate for that in the UK. So try to negotiate as well.
Hello, Dr. Timothy. So sorry to interrupt, but you have to round off now.
Yeah, I'm almost rounding up. So where you can get more information, these are some links that really was helpful to me to get some information, like academia.stack-exchange. If you are going to academics, you can get more information about how to prepare your CV, your cover letter. Korea as well, blog.linkedin.com. Then you can use this profile.impactstory.org. It gives you a better view, a qualitative view of your progress, rather than apart from Google Scholar, which may give you your age index or things like that. So these are some you can make use of as well. So thank you for your time.
Okay. Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation, and we are so grateful you kept the time as well. Okay. If you have questions for the two presenters, Dr. Tim and Dr. Dami, kindly post in the chat box. I invite my co-host Joy. Can you read out some of the questions that are yet to be attended to, please? Hello, Joy. Joy.
I think she's no longer in the meeting. If you can just carry on.
No, I'm here.
Okay, you're here.
Hi.
Okay, please can you read out the questions in the chat box? Thank you.
Yep, happy to. Dr. Timothy, Dr. Damilola, thank you so much for this very insightful presentation. I've really loved the concepts of Dr. Damilola, linear and dynamic concepts pertaining relationships. And Dr. Timothy, I've particularly loved your concepts on behavioral approach to getting jobs. And I think that this really cuts across our different, whether it's academics or life or even family. I feel like the way that you deal with your personal life is the way that you deal with approaching any target at all, which includes career planning. And so this has been so insightful for me. I am looking through the question box. Dr. Damilola has answered one already, and I would read that out. The question is, what were your support systems when things were not going smoothly? And Dr. Damilola has correctly answered. His wife is his support system, and he's also said to surround yourself with positive people. I don't see any question at the moment. If you have more, please continue to message me. Ifunaya, if you see some, please call it out. I'm probably missing something. But I do, and that is, I feel like between dynamics, between linear and dynamic concepts of relationships and behavioral concepts, there is the new, there's a new title of career athleticism. And I think Dr. Timothy, you touched on that a bit when you said, just because you're doing your PhD person or your research person, it doesn't mean that you only have to teach or be a professor. And the different areas that you can be looking into to getting your career into different type of things you want to do, whether it's a communication person or a tutor, a professor. But I really want to speak to that, and that's my question. What's your take on it? And in a global world, what are the very practical things that you can be doing? And I know we talked about interviews. It's very clear. We talked about upping your work ethics, upping your interviews, and reading through these links online that can help, that can be helping you with interpersonal skills. I don't know, but what has helped you guys in your personal life, and what can we be carrying into our lives? Dr. Timothy, you can go first.
Okay. If I got the question right, what has been helping me? one thing that has been helping me is asking questions ahead of time, and then preparing myself, and also planning for uncertainty as well. Because as Dr. Dami said, life is not a straight road. They all have some bend ends as well. So asking questions from people, making use of the internet, and yeah, that has been of help to me. And the other aspect, if I get you about not just working in academics, yeah, of course, as I've said, academics is not the only way. So that's why you need to develop yourself as well. On writing your papers, look at other things you can do. How you can engage yourself with probably presenting in conferences where you can conference that allows people in the industry to come in. Probably people like in WHO, World Bank, things like that, depending on your field, not just a academic-based conference. From there, you can interact with people outside your field, know what they want. Because let me tell you, all this World Bank also, they do research in-house. So, and you do research, you can fit in as well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Timothy. So really looking at the core aspects of our society and really integrating yourself in those, whether it's conferences and different kinds of academic research. But you also have to be understanding your particular sectors so that you know how to go into that. Yes? Thank you for that insight. Dr. Damilola, in 1 minute, if that's not too short, can you give us something on that? And then I would read the next question to be answered. Dr. Damilola.
Yeah. Sorry, I actually didn't understand your question that well. But I mean, based on Dr. Timothy's reply, I would just say that you know, the fact that we are a PhD student doesn't mean that we should end up as academics. Okay. So if you, I worked in the industry for a few months, even before I actually started my PhD and after my PhD. Okay. So we need to be open-minded and then try as much as possible to look for where our opportunities lie, and then we should not streamline our opportunities. Okay, I can only work in the university and stuff like that. There are some research-based positions in the industry as well. So we just need to look out and then apply to the right place to do the right thing. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Great.
I have a question.
Thank you for that
here.
very lovely answer. Open-minded. Ifeanyi, is this the question about when the pandemic broke out?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. We have a question about the pandemic and how you were close to or had just finished your doctorate program. By how much did such a far-reaching global event cause a deviation in your career plans? And there is another question that says, if you had to make changes to your career plans, what coping mechanism did you adopt to handle the psychological issues associated with having to take a detour from your plans you had laid out years in advance? And the third question is, what is the single most important lesson you got from searching for a job during the pandemic? Dr. Damilola, do you want to take that?
Yes. The second question, I really don't get to you, but let me start from the last question. I think the last question was, I'm sorry, can you remind me again, sorry, the last question?
The last question is, what is the single most important lesson you got from searching for a job during the pandemic?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think for me, I think it's presentation and packaging, right? You know, during my PhD, I discovered that when I was looking for the market, doing my market analysis, there are some things I really didn't have. I was trying to tick the boxes and I realized that, okay, of all the 10 boxes I was able to identify, maybe I just had 2 or 3. Okay, so how do I go about it, right? So I started looking for how to package the 2 things, 3 things that I have to make it look as if I have the other 10. Okay, so highlighting what I really need to highlight and stuff like preparing my cover letter and stuff like that. So I think basically packaging and presentation was one of the things that one of the lessons I learned so much during my application stage.
Thank you very much, Dr. Damilola. I would read a question that has just come in, and I think it's really important. As a lecturer, how do you broaden your horizon to be able to teach subjects unless related to your usual, much narrower PhD research topic? And I think this is a question to both of you can answer.
Yeah.
We can start with Dr.
Yes, I think Dr. Timothy actually emphasized something like that while he was presenting, in the sense that obviously what you are going to be teaching might not be actually related to what you are doing and what you have even did during your PhD studies. Okay, so that's where planning it's a process, right? You keep refining your ideas, you keep learning as well. Even there are sometimes, even since I just started, like there are sometimes I've gone online to download papers just to have an idea of, you know, what people are. What the topic or what I really need to teach, so I'll be able to identify, you know, the basic things I need to teach and stuff like that. So you keep reading, you keep improving yourself. It's a cycle, actually. It doesn't stop. So learning never ends. So you even do more while you're actually here, because if you want to guide students, you need to know what you know what you want to teach them. So you keep learning, keep reading, keep researching, keep exploring. It's a process that never ends, actually. So that's just my thought about that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Damilola. Keep learning and keep improving yourself. I want to go back to the other question because it was not answered completely, partly my fault. I would read the first and second one again, and Dr. Timothy, maybe you can answer that. The first one is the pandemic. When it was close to the pandemic, you were getting your doctorate program, and how much did that affect? How much did that affect a far-reaching global event course, a division in your career plans? I'm not sure if I'm addressing this correctly, but maybe you can help me here.
Okay. Of course, the pandemic affected a lot. Although it didn't affect my research because I've completed my PhD a year even before I submitted it. But for the policy of the university, then I could not submit my dissertation. So I was more devoting that to writing papers. So that I can do anywhere. But one aspect it affected was in job search because some countries, because of their restrictions, they just invite for interviews, you interview the job, but you know that you're not going to get the job because they are not certain about whether you're going to come in, you know, to start the job. Like my favorite country then, if I may say, was Australia, and Australia was no open door because there was even that season find it difficult to enter. So it did some of my plans of going there. And so you just have to have an open mind. Then I try to search for other countries. Even there are some countries, there are some universities in not fully English speaking countries that have in English universities that you can apply to. You can see some of them in Sweden. So don't just limit yourself to English speaking countries. And if you are good in learning languages, most universities, even in Poland, in France, in Spain, they can allow you to teach in English for the first 1 year, and then that 1 year you'll be able to speak in the local language if you are past speaking in learning new language. I didn't apply to such universities. So you can apply to them and then you can get the job. The same thing for the industry. You may find that in some industries as well. So of course it did affect, but based on some friends also, of course, in Hong Kong then, before the COVID, we have the riots, which some people, their lives were destroyed or affected. So I just have to find a way around it, and sometimes you need to consult with the supervisor as well.
That's such a great text, Dr. Timothy. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you, Dr. Damilola, for your time. I believe time's up now. We will be turning it over to the organizers. Such an insightful session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Damilola and Dr. Timothy, for your time and the impactful presentations followed by the question and answers. And once again, thank you, Rejoice and Joy, for anchoring the section. So without taking much of our time, we should move on to the next session. Over to you, Miracle.
All right, so thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So for the you'd like to get us intimidated with our other events that we have for the year. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the major event we're going to have is going to be the forthcoming research forum by June, and then the election as usual by August. And then we're going to have the Aninova ceremony by October. So for the other social events, we're going to have cycling, hiking, and this year we've created a ladies sport event just like last year, and also we're going to have we also included some new activities like you can see from the screen. So our next event, next slide, please. Not yeah, next slide. Yeah. So we are going to encourage our members to pay. First of all, let's appreciate those that have been paying, and then we want to say thank you to everyone that have been paying. And for some of us, that are kind of still default in paying, so we are encouraging us to pay. And also, let's tell our friends, let's remind them so I can pay their dues. We should remind them that for undergrad and the masters is 300 HKD. And then for PhD and postdoc, and maybe some of our fellow in UK, in US that they want to support us, you are big men, you can actually do better, you can pay more. So thank you, we appreciate it. So if you cannot send to us directly, we have PayPal accounts, so you can send to our PayPal or through other means. We just find a way to get to our account. So thank you so much. Thank you. For some of we are still having our what's it called souvenir, so we can if you need any one of these, we still have like 2 polo left, and then we still have the flask. So if you need any one of these, you can just contact us. We only have what's it called, this one of our cardigan left, so you can chat us if you want to get one, maybe for yourself or for a member of your family if you'll be going home. I'm very sure some of us will be going to Nigeria now that they have eased the quarantine. You can just get for your loved ones. And also we have we still have the ANSHK flashcard available, so you can chat us to get this for yourself or for your loved ones.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mirko. I'll just take it over from here. So once again, we have our Instagram page where we share so much of our pictures, and we put your beautiful faces online for everyone to see. And we also have the Facebook, which has been existing for a very long time, and we have our YouTube channel. Please follow us on our social media platform to have the opportunity to see everything that we are doing. And of course, you can always send us an email via the anshk.org@gmail.com. We really hope we can get from anything from you, feedbacks or anything whatsoever. So I would hand over to Tomilayo to give us a closing remark as quick as possible, and then move the motion for adjournment. Thank you so much, Tomilayo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This has been a remarkable forum, and it has been filled with insights. So we would like to show our sincere appreciation to our speakers for their time, the preparation, and the dispensation of insights. And to our members, we say thank you for, without you, it will be difficult to have a progressive association. And I would also like to give special thanks to our anchors and all those who have made this forum a success by contributing in one way or the other. So we simply ask that the association will continue to grow, and especially in love and unity. Okay, so we encourage us to reach out to all around us in our schools, respective schools, and even outside, like beyond your particular institution. So, and we hope that our research will yield groundbreaking success, and our career will continue to advance to the zenith. So, and based on these, we ask for your continual support and we hope that you will continue to show love to all around you. Thank you very much, and please continue to stay safe, stay strong, stay jiggy. And we have come to the end of the forum, the Learning Forum for 2021-2022 session. And I would like to ask for 2 of our members to move a motion for the adjournment of this forum.
Hello, my name is Abdullah Isaka. I hereby move the motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We need a seconder.
Hi,
Hello.
Julie Contaviola. Second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Now we have come
thank
to
you
the
so
end of the
much. So,
forum.
yes, thank you so much. We have come to the end of the forum. Someone asked for the PowerPoint slides for the panelists. We're going to get it across to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and it's nice to see your beautiful faces once again today. Have a nice weekend.